Imagine a man who could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. A man who not only became the greatest boxer of all time, but also changed the world with his words and beliefs. Today, we're going to learn English through the incredible story of Muhammad Ali, the champion who fought for justice both inside and outside the ring. Before starting, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The birth of a legend. In the warm, segregated city of Louisville, Kentucky, in 1942, a boy named Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. was born. He grew up on streets from which he dreamed of escaping. His destiny was forged not in schools or factories, but under the dim light of a boxing gym. The story began at age 12, with a stolen bicycle. An enraged Cassius, furious about his bike being stolen, told a police officer named Joe Martin that he wanted to beat up the thief. Martin, who ran a boxing gym, suggested he first learn how to do it properly. That moment was the spark that ignited the fire of a legend. In the gym, Cassius's raw talent shone like a diamond. With a unique style, legendary speed, and feet that seemed to glide on the wind, he amazed everyone. He quickly rose through the amateur ranks, and at 18, he won the gold medal at the 1960 Rome Olympics. But this was only the beginning. Upon returning to America and facing racial discrimination even in his hometown, that gold medal, which he said symbolized freedom and equality, became meaningless to him. In a symbolic and angry act, he threw his gold medal into the Ohio River. This was his first cry of protest against an unjust world. Cassius Clay entered the professional boxing world with unbelievable speed. With a combination of speed, power, and high intelligence, he defeated opponent after opponent. But it wasn't just his fists that drew attention, it was his sharp tongue and precise predictions that shocked everyone. He became a media phenomenon by reciting poetry and predicting the round in which he would knock out his opponent. In 1964, in the prime of his youth, he faced Sonny Liston, the fearsome and seemingly invincible heavyweight champion of the world. Liston was a symbol of raw power and terror. But Cassius, with his dancing feet and lightning-fast punches, forced Liston to quit in the 7th round. The world witnessed the birth of a new champion. Immediately after winning the title, he delivered another shock to the world. He announced that he had converted to Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Ali. He said, "Cassius Clay is a slave name. Muhammad Ali is the name I chose for myself." This announcement was not just a name change, it was a declaration of independence for a black man's identity. At the peak of his popularity and power, the greatest test of Ali's professional and personal life arrived. He was drafted to serve in the Vietnam War. But Muhammad Ali, based on his religious and conscientious beliefs, refused to go to war. He uttered his eternal phrase, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong." This stance ignited the fury of the government and the media. His punishment was swift and severe, his boxing license was revoked. His world championship title was stripped, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. For 3.5 years, during the prime of his career, he lived in exile while others fought for the world title. But Ali did not surrender. He fought in the courts, and eventually, the Supreme Court overturned his conviction. This battle made him a global symbol of resistance against oppression and the defense of freedom of conscience. In 1970, Muhammad Ali returned to the ring after a 3.5-year exile. But could he still shine as before? His answer came in a series of epic and historic battles: the fight of the century versus Joe Frazier, 1971, Ali's first professional defeat. A brutal 15-round war that pushed both fighters to the brink of total exhaustion. The Rumble in the Jungle vs. George Foreman, 1974. Ali faced the young and powerful Foreman in Kinshasa, Zaire. Foreman had crushed all opponents with his devastating punches. Ali's strategy was pure genius, the rope-a-dope. He leaned on the ropes and let Foreman punch himself to exhaustion. In the 8th round, when Foreman had no energy left, Ali knocked him out with a lightning counterattack, reclaiming the World Championship title. This was one of the greatest victories in sports history. The Thrilla in Manila vs. Joe Frazier, 1975. The third battle between these two giants. A fight in the scorching heat of Manila that was more than a boxing match, it was a battle of wills. In the 15th round, a nearly blind Frazier was stopped by his trainer from continuing. Ali, who was also on the verge of collapse, fell to his knees upon hearing the news. He later said, "It was the closest thing to dying." Muhammad Ali retired from boxing in 1981 at the age of 39. But his fight was not over. In 1984, he announced that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome, a neurological illness likely caused by years of head trauma. But he faced this disease with the same courage and smile, using his fame to support charities and promote peace worldwide. In 1996, while his hands trembled from the disease, he lit the Olympic cauldron in Atlanta. It was a powerful and memorable image of his indomitable spirit. Muhammad Ali, the greatest, passed away on June 3, 2016. But his legacy will never die. Epilogue: Why he was the greatest. Muhammad Ali was not just a boxing champion. He was a poet, a freedom fighter, a symbol of resistance, a teacher, and an ambassador of peace. He taught the world how to stand up to injustice with unwavering self-belief, break down barriers, and make the world a better place. He himself gave the best description of his life: "I am a believer in what is beautiful, in dreams and dreaming, in myself and in others. I love life because life has given me love. I will never quit fighting because if I quit, I will have quit living." And that is the story of the man who remained a champion forever, not only in the ring but in the heart of history and the minds of billions of people across the world. So, the story of Muhammad Ali teaches us more than just English. It teaches us that impossible is just a word. The next time you find English difficult, remember his words: don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Keep fighting. Keep learning. You are the greatest. Goodbye.